welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Brittany and I am currently 38 weeks pregnant, expecting my second baby any week now. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you my symptoms, pregnancy symptoms from weeks 36 to 38. I've got my raspberry leaf tea ready to go, doing absolutely everything I can to get this labour started ASAP. But yeah, let's get into the video. Alrighty, you know the drill. I use the Ovia app to track my pregnancy symptoms, so I'll be looking at my phone just to refer to the weeks and stuff like that. So 36 weeks, I have been feeling a lot of fatigue, which hasn't really changed much since the last update. I'm just constantly tired. I've been napping pretty much every single day. I'd say like 5 out of 7 days I'm having like an hour and a half nap around 11:30 when Lincoln goes down for his nap. So that's sort of just getting me through the day at the moment. I've had a lot of lower back pain as well that's kind of on and off. I wouldn't say it's constant, but it's on and off. Some days it's bad, some days it's not. I don't really notice it. I've also had increased movement, so I'm definitely feeling the baby move a lot more. They're not, I wouldn't say they're like as strong. Some nights they're strong kicks, but other times it's just a lot of like rolling and moving around in there. I feel like just because I'm so big now and we're getting to the end that there's not much room left for them to move. A new sort of symptom that I've kind of had from around 36 weeks is a bit of insomnia. Now this, I did not have this at all with Lincoln's pregnancy. I didn't have any trouble sleeping. So it's been taking me a long time to get to sleep, and trust me, I'm exhausted. And I've been reading my book every night. I just read my book in bed instead of being on my phone because I feel like it helps me wind down and fall asleep easier. And that had been working for me for the last couple of months. But yeah, lately sometimes I'll read and I'll literally be falling asleep reading my book, and then I'll go to put it down and go to sleep and I literally just can't fall asleep and I'm just like lying there wide awake. Yeah, I've tried to sort of limit my caffeine as well. Like some days, most days I'm not really having a coffee just because I want to have that midday nap. And then also I feel like if I have one after my midday nap, it just like, it's not good for me trying to fall asleep at night. So yeah, it's definitely just a bit of pregnancy insomnia, I think, which is really annoying. Along with that, I feel like I've just been waking up a lot more as well, like pretty much, I'd say probably at least 4 times a night. The other night, a couple of nights ago, I woke up, I reckon it was 7 times, and I woke up like on the hour. Like I remember checking and it was like 2 a.m, just after 3, and then 4:30, and I was like, oh my god, what is going on? Then halfway through week 36, I had a midwife appointment. That went all pretty good. She said basically the baby's head down, which they had been for a while, but they're not engaged yet, and she kind of just said like it's nothing to worry about. Apparently second babies engage a lot later. I think it's like with your first they engage and drop, could be a couple of weeks or a few weeks before you go into labor, but second babies sometimes they don't engage until labor starts. So she's like, yeah, not to worry. I also spoke to her sort of about what the plan would be if I went over. They haven't really been pushing an induction, which surprises me because last time they were pushing it, and it was my first baby, and this time I'm measuring bigger. The baby's measuring big again, bigger than Lincoln was, and he was born 98th percentile. At 38 weeks. So yeah, I would have thought they would have been pushing an induction for me like at 40 weeks or 39 weeks just because of the size of this baby and because I had the tear. They said to me like, if you have a bigger baby, it's a slightly increased risk of you having a 3rd degree tear again. So that worries me a little bit. But then on the other hand, I know like if I choose to get induced, there's just like the cascade of interventions that can happen, and I really don't want to have, I want to have a really low intervention birth if I can. That's my aim. So yeah, it's kind of a fine line. I just don't really know what to do. I'm pretty sure I'm just going to let myself go to my due date, and then I'll kind of assess how I'm feeling and talk to them from there. I've got another appointment in a couple of days time, where I'll discuss, I guess, a possible induction, but the midwife from last week pretty much said, like, you won't, like, we probably won't book it, but you can discuss it with them. So yeah, I think that will be the go. I don't want to go to 41 weeks. I really don't want to go over that, because that's quite quite a large gap from 38 weeks with Lincoln at 4.1 kilos to potentially giving birth to a 10-pound baby. And like, yeah, it freaks me out a bit. So we'll just see what happens. I'm kind of just like staying positive, and I'm pretty, I don't know, I feel good, and I feel like it will happen before 40 weeks, but yeah, you never know. I've also been having a lot of pelvic twinges. I don't know what to call them. Just like twinges down in the uterus, I guess. Last night they were actually really, really painful, to the point where I was like, oh, like it was like the baby's head was really pushing down. So again, I don't know if that's baby starting to drop. I don't feel like my belly has dropped at all, honestly. But I've been feeling those sort of twinges and that pressure down there on and off throughout the last couple of weeks. Next sort of symptom is just feeling super heavy and super uncomfortable. Again, I'm finding it hard to sleep at night, one, because of the insomnia, and two, because I just feel so big and heavy and I cannot get comfortable. I've been using the Butterfly maternity pillow, and I feel like it has been pretty good, but like now that I'm at the last couple of weeks, I just feel like it does not give me support at all. Like I'm just too big that it's not really doing much. My hips ache, my belly aches, my back aches, and I just cannot get comfortable. So yeah, just have to push through, I think, and hopefully not too much longer. Then week 37, I've also reported a couple of nights I've had just like kind of bad, or not bad, they're like mild period like cramps that kind of last for a couple of hours, and then they like just completely go away. So again, I don't know if this is Braxton Hicks. Is it Braxton Hicks? Let me know if you've had Braxton Hicks. I just don't know how to tell if it is or not. Basically, they're like period pains in my belly that go around up until my upper back. So they just kind of like start in the front and then they spread all the way up. And it's just kind of like a constant crampy feeling for a few hours, and then it goes away. It's happened quite a few nights, and I'm like, I get my hopes up every time, like, oh, could this be it? This could be the start of labor. And then I just fall asleep and nothing happens, and I wake up and I don't feel anything at all. Next symptoms are a little bit TMI. So I've had a lot of vaginal discharge, and I know it's pretty normal. I feel like it does ramp up at the end, but it's been quite a lot that I've had to change my undies like multiple times a day. I should just wear a pad, but I just keep forgetting. So yeah, that's been fun. Also, another TMI one is I've had really bad constipation. I feel like I have been needing to go quite a bit, and I've like gone to go to the toilet thinking I need to do a poo, but then I sit on the toilet and I just can't poo. So that's been fun. Again, I think it's just like the pressure of everything, like, ooh, getting so big and just putting all the pressure on all that stuff. Again, another sort of one along those lines, I've had the urgency to pee is very much increased right now. I constantly need to go, and I feel like I'm getting up to go all the time, and like not much is coming out. Just because I think I've just got the pressure there of the baby's head constantly, and I'm getting those like twinges and those kind of shooting pains down there. So yeah. Lastly, I just wanted to talk about, I have started expressing colostrum. So at my midwife appointment, I spoke to her and she showed me how to do it. And she basically said start from 37 weeks. So I've been doing that a bit over the last week. But yeah, I haven't been getting much. It seriously is so hard to do. Like I don't enjoy doing it, but I'm gonna try and persist and just like do it when I feel like I have the energy to. The first couple of times I did it, I got literally nothing. Like I got like a few drops. It wasn't even worth like collecting and like freezing. But I have heard like from people that it does take a while for you to get enough. Like it took someone like a few weeks for her to be able to get enough to be able to like freeze. So yeah, I'm just gonna try and persist with it. I did it a few days ago and I think I got half a mil over like a few days, which again is nothing. I'm pretty sure a feed is like, the first day of feeding they have like 1 mil or 1.5 to 2 mil per feed. So again, it's nothing, but it's still something. So I'll see how I go. I did some this morning and it's definitely increased. Like I'm definitely getting a lot more coming out. I've noticed as well, if I do it after a hot shower and I like get out and then go and do it, I feel like it comes out more easily. But yeah, even just getting the technique right of like squeezing and pushing it forward and then like trying to collect it with the syringe, I don't know, it seems like a whole ordeal for me, especially because I'm doing perineal stretching, I'm doing the colostrum expressing, I'm having my raspberry leaf tea, I'm having about 2 to 3 cups of that a day. I'm eating my 6 dates per day. I'm trying to do like my birth affirmations and using my fit ball, my big exercise ball, to do like pelvic tilts and kind of sitting on that to try and get the baby in an optimal position. And I've also started reading some birth books, which I might go and grab and show you actually. So my doula actually dropped these down to me. She had them, she has a whole library of books, and she said, yeah, if you want them, I'll just drop them down to you. So that's been really good. The first one that I've read is Birth Skills by Juju Sundin. I've heard really good things about this. I listened to the Australian Birth Stories podcast and a lot of women say that they'd read this book and it really helped with like managing the pain and some new techniques. So I read this. It was quite a big book. Took me a few days to read. And it was really, really good. I would highly recommend this to anyone, even if you're a second time mum like me. I just found so many new techniques that I had no idea about and hadn't heard about with coping with pain and sort of getting through that like transition stage when you think you can't keep going on and you're like at that crisis of confidence. This like the techniques that she mentioned, like she just says like match the pain and, you know, distraction techniques, visualization, stuff like that. Also, she mentions a lot about sort of visualizing techniques for the crowning and pushing stage, which I found super helpful. Again, last time I didn't do any reading, I didn't do any research to prep for Lincoln's birth, and I do regret not doing any research. So this time, yeah, I'm just trying to engulf myself in as much knowledge and resources as I can to prepare myself. So yeah, I will give you an update after I've given birth and see like whether these techniques work for me, because I'm going to take them in and try to use some of them, especially in like the later stages of active labor. I feel like some of these could really help me. So yeah, really good book, highly recommend to anyone who's about to give birth. Then the second book that I'm currently reading is Birth with Confidence by Rhea Dempsey. This has been good. I feel like it's probably not as informative and helpful with practical tools as this one is. It's more just around like the mindset, your mindset around dealing with pain, your pain type, and sort of factors that can help enhance your birth experience and get you through that she calls crisis of confidence. So the point where you think, I can't do this anymore. I definitely had that in my labor with Lincoln. I got to, yeah, it was about 7 centimeters and I was like, nah, I can't do it anymore. I think I want an epidural. And then it was like half an hour later I was transitioning. So I feel like knowing this now, just reading this book and knowing that, like, that's a normal thing, it's gonna push me this time around to just push through that pain and try those other techniques to sort of get me over that little hump and into transition. Because I feel like once you transition and you get to the pushing stage, for me, that was a lot less painful than the contractions at the end of the first stage, sorry. So yeah, it's kind of good to sort of educate yourself on that. It's just, she talks about a lot of different stuff, but yeah, I feel like this one's good for more practical pain management techniques, and I feel like it's really digestible and I remembered a lot from this book. Whereas this one, I feel like, I don't know, it's a bit more just like, I don't know, it's more about your mindset, and there's a lot of statistics in here about cascade of interventions and public versus private and all that sort of stuff. I don't know, they're both good, but yeah, if I had to choose, I'd probably say read this one if you are umming and ahhing. But yeah, I'm nearly finished that. I've got a little bit to go. I'll probably get through it in the next couple of days. But yeah, that's pretty much what I've been up to for the last 2 weeks. I'm literally, yeah, like I said, I'm just kind of ticking off each thing every day, having my tea, having my dates, doing the stretching, whatever. And that's taking up pretty much my whole day alongside looking after my 19-month-old. Definitely got my hands full. So yeah, just sort of trying to distract myself, keep myself busy, and not focus so much on the date and my due date. And yeah, just sort of enjoying this time as a family of 3 before the next one arrives. Before I wrap up this video, I will show you a quick bump shot. And that wraps up today's video. If you did enjoy it, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!